Hello, hello, hello. This is Missy T 931, and I have some special ladies with me today, and we're gonna have some real conversation. So join us, come with us, sup with us. I have three ladies, and we're going to have just a simple conversation about life after the age of 40. So, first of all, let me thank you all for your presence and allowing me to talk to you, pick your brains, and have some transparent conversation. So, I definitely want to show my gratitude. A little nervous, something new, but with the different genres that you come from and your um, occupations, I just feel like with this being a place for women to learn and grow, that we can definitely, dig some trenches for those that are coming behind us to learn. So let me start. I have Miss Sean.
Hello.
And then I have Miss D. And then I have Miss K. So each one of these ladies is a professional in her own right. And we're going to get right to it. So I guess my first thing is life. Life after 40. Miss K, we're going to start with you. Tell me about your marital status, children. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see, I've been married for 30 years. I have
Wow.
two sons, both grown, both doing their own thing in their professional lives. And life after 40 for me has actually been, life after 40 for me has actually gotten pretty more interesting. With kids gone, doing their own thing, I now focus on me. I have a full-time job, so I work 40 hours a week. I have two different service organizations that I volunteer for, so I'm constantly busy. And my husband probably wonder why I'm never at home half the time, because I'm always doing something else. But it's for me.
Wow. So, can I ask you in the beginning, 30 years? First of all, wow. Let's start there. But even with that, 30 years, that's some life changes. Because essentially, every 5 to 10 years, we turn into somebody else.
Yes.
Different roles, different paths, different desires. So, that's a lot. So, how was life? I heard you say that everybody's gone. How was life when the boys were in the house?
Very hectic, because I was a mother, I was a wife, I was even going to school full time at one point, working full time at one point, and getting two different boys to two different sports all the time. So I constantly ran, constantly on the run. It was never about me. So it was always about my family.
So what I heard you say is now it is about me. That's good stuff. So, Miss D, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wow. Okay. Well, I am a divorced mother of two. I have been at my current job for 7 years. I work in the health sector. I went from social services to a different health sector, so that's been interesting and a shift to learn. I recently lost my mother, so I had the opportunity to care for an aging parent and then go through the grieving process of no longer having both.
So let's start there. Let's talk about, okay, life after 40 is the subject, but let's talk about caring for aging parents. There are so many things in our community that we don't discuss and therefore we're not prepared for. So can you enlighten us, share a little bit about what you went through? What was your experience as it relates to caring for an aging parent?
So we literally went from taking care of my mother in her home to having to put her in a rehab during the pandemic, and then being able to finally get out of that rehab and go back home. And at that point in time, we had to learn how to be caregivers. it was a little different before because I did have a sibling living with her. And so she kind of helped with the responsibility, but when she came back from the pandemic, we as her children had to step in because government only paid for so many hours of home care.
Wow.
So we had to be the nurse, be the everything, and then helping her to remember to do things. So I had to learn how to be a caregiver.
Okay. There was a lot of meat on that bone. So now we come to Miss Sean, who has a story and a ministry and a testimony in and of herself. Tell us a little bit about life after 40.
Wow. Very interesting, but it was a growth period. I can say a little bit about myself. I'm married. I have 3 adult children. I have 2 wonderful grandchildren. And I would say 40 taught me a lot. And so as I embraced my 50s to see what the 50 taught me, but one thing about what I learned in my 40s is to live in your truth, to own up to what you are, and also stand on the truth. And life will give you a whole bunch of lemons, but it's up to you in your relationship with Christ how the outcome would be. So I would say I grew a lot spiritually, emotionally, because in my 40s I grieved a lot. After losing my only child, that taught me how to forgive a lot of people who impact a lot of hurt. And I had to realize is that my story is my story, and